Okay, I think we're about ready. This is a good number of people. See a lot of new people, a lot of people I recognize. Welcome. Um, so this is very timely, and I have to admit, when Yuqi proposed this, I did not realize it would be within 24 hours of the launch. I assume he knew that. Um, but this is Yuqi at Brown, and we'll be talking about the, I'm going to mispronounce it too, the Chang'e Lunar Data, and the Chinese, we'll say, equivalent or analog to the Planetary Data System. So thank you so much for proposing this. This is incredibly timely, and we're all very excited. So when you are ready, just go ahead.
Yeah. Thanks. I just share. I'm Yuqi from China University of Geoscience, and right now I'm a visiting student in Brown University, working with Jim, who is also here. So today I will share something about the Chinese planetary data system that is used for data release, and for some examples, I will use some lunar data. Sorry. So let's go. So first of all, I share some data and tools here, and there is a link, and I just share it in the chat box. And the reason I want to share it first because some of you maybe want to play this data when I go through this talk. So the link I share in the chat box will lead you to my Google Drive, which contains this data and NASA View, PDF4 View tools. So when I do my presentation, you can download this data, and when we move to the next half of this presentation, and you can play this data with me, and all this data I share with this link are available from the data release system, which I will talk about later. Actually, I cannot put it here because the data is like over 100 megabytes and not very large, but still large. So let's go. So Chinese planetary data system, when we refer to China's planetary data system, that means the data, the place that we can data from Chinese planetary missions. There are several places that you can acquire Chinese data. The majority place or the major place that we can acquire the data is from National Astronomical Observatory, and they have a system called Ground Research Application System. Here is that their website, and most China data and other planetary data are published here. And there are other data, but not very important. There are some planetary mission data are published in National Space Science Center, their data center, but not many. And there's other third party like Shanghai University or my own university. That is because we are data user. We have some ideas of data users, so we want to rearrange this data. And Shanghai University has some cooperation with Washington University in St. Louis, who is the runner of a planetary geoscience node. So Shanghai University, they did some good work. And because the major data is in the ground research application system, and this is a major place that people can acquire the data. So I will focus on the ground research application system. Then here is a website. I will go through the website later, just to say how many things are here. First there are two places here can acquire the data. The first place is scientific data. The second place is a PDS data set. There are a slightly difference. The scientific data is arranged just the data, and all data in a folder, and the PDS data set is arranged in lots of folders, including data, others, and there is lunar samples. But if you click the lunar sample option, it will tell you it's under construction because we don't have lunar samples yet. But when Chang'e 5 or other Planetary missions take samples back, I believe there will be some options here that will let you obtain or apply the Chang'e 5 or other Planetary mission samples. And the lunar maps, this thing is like the quick map thing is WebGIS. It will lead you to some WebGIS interface, which you can browser the data online. And the last thing is in the major page is the data release news. And in this news, every time the data release system publishes some data, they will also put some news here. Let's go to the next. So before you download the data, you may register an account, but this account is not required to download the data. But if you have an account, you will have some options like download history. If you put the data in your cart, but you are not convenient to download that data, just save it to the cart to download later. And this account near require nothing, and the account is totally free and will create it immediately before download. And the data types, here is the original document of the Chinese data types, and I make some translations here. If some of you are interested in the Chinese document, you can go to this website and use Google Translate to translate by yourself, because my translation may be not very accurate because I'm not an engineer or data scientist. So generally, Chinese data can be classified into 5 types, from raw data to level 0, level 1, level 2, level 3 data. The raw data is the direct downlink data from the spacecraft, and level 0 data, level 0 data are also still very raw. And from level 1 data, they convert to physical quantity values. So for the scientists in China, in most of the times they get level 1, level 2 data when they do their researches. We don't get level 0 or raw data because we also don't know how to process them. The engineers or the payload producer will take this responsibility. And from raw data to level 3 data, level 0 data is binary format. In binary format, level 1, 2, 3 are in PDS format. According to my knowledge, the old Chinese missions like Chang'e 1, Chang'e 2, Chang'e 3 are arranged in PDS3 format. And the new Chang'e 4 or missions in the future the data will be arranged in PDS4. Okay, let's go to I just mentioned the PDS data set. So this is how it looks like, different founders. If you are interested, you can go to this website to see the details, but it's still in Chinese. You can use Google Translate to help yourself. My translation may be not very accurate. So the data release, I put some data release news here because I want to notice the time here, like between 2 Chang'e 4 data. This is the time before the last time is October 9, and then the nearest data release time is November 3. So generally, the data release system will release data around a month. But before 1 year protection period for each mission, the data release system will not release data in the data in the website here. That is because China has some self-protection period that is around 1 year for the data will only be used by Chinese scientists or the foreign scientists that cooperate with Chinese scientists. After this 1 year protection period, data will be released in the website I'm describing. And a different user have a different privilege, have different access rights to the data. Level 0 data and level 1 data are not open to public. Level 0 data are open to payload producer. Level 1 data are not open to public, but co-scientist team. And level 3 and level 2 data are open to public, which we can download from the website. And in most of the times, I use level 2 or level 3 data because I'm not an engineer. I don't know how to process more raw, more original data. And there is some special payloads, that is Chinese payloads on board other countries' spacecrafts and other countries' payloads on board Chinese spacecrafts. They may not, the data release system may not publish this data because this kind of data should obey official agreements between governments. So you may find Chang'e 4 data released by some European countries. And more details about the data release policy or data policy can be found here in this website. It's very, very long document. If you are interested, you can go to this website to take a detailed look. So I just finished the main page here. This slide is just here for in case the website itself cannot access during our presentation. And what I want to do now is go through the website. Go through the website. So the website has a Chinese version and an English version. The connection sometimes is not very good. But sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not. If you have better connection, maybe try another time. It's it is slow right now. Okay, we just go to another part. That is, if you click the scientific option in my slides, in the main page of the data release system, it will direct you to this. Sorry. It will direct you here. And in this place, it will the website will show you some basic description of the data. Like the data catalog is what kind of data are stored here, like Chang'e 4 landing camera, level 2A data, etc. And there is some very simple descriptions of the data products under the name of the data, different kinds of data. So you see the data here are all level 2 data. And the task information. Yeah, task information. So the task information, there are some basic information of the Chang'e 4 mission, and the payloads like TCM means terrain camera, LCM means landing camera, and others PCM means panoramic camera, LPR means lunar planetary radar, and there is some descriptions of each payloads here. If you have some very specific needs, and you can go to this place and say which data you need and how is that payloads. Data overview, that is the data, how much data are obtained by the spacecraft, the volume, etc. I think the most important document here is the related illustration. That this is a more detailed description of the data from the name to the different observation modes, etc. And the data from data for Chinese lunar exploration program, their file name is very long. That is because the file name contain lots of information like CEX means CE1 means Chang'e 1 mission, CE5 means Chang'e 5 mission, etc. And if you want to know each character's meanings, you can go to the place go to this place and to see what actually these symbols means for the Chang'e 4 data. For example, the lander, there is a terrain camera on board the land and a landing camera. Yeah, LCM, that means LCM means landing camera, and the landing camera has two modes, mode 1, mode 2. Panoramic camera and also have different modes. If you know specifically what kind of data you need, you can go to this place to see how they looks like. So this is a data release system. After you see the relevant information here, you can go to the data catalog, and maybe you already clear what kind of data you need, and you can click here to get a data set. They will lead you to the place that can download this data. And then right now you go to the place that you can download the data, Chang'e 1 to Chang'e 4, and the acronym of payloads and the levels. For most of the payloads, level 0 and level 1 data are not released. So yeah, like for example, Chang'e 4 landing camera level 2A data, you can download it directly or add to cart for download later. But if you want to add it to cart, you need to have an account, and this account will be created immediately if you wish. So let's have a try. Add to cart, and they are right now in my cart now. Sorry, the connection is not very good. So if you download the data, which I already do, and they are in the folder I shared with you. So they are here. And we can see the file name of this data, Chang'e 2 BMYK CCD B something something like this, and you go to this place to know each data's meaning. And for more details of the data, so I want to go through play this data together with you. And I mentioned earlier, I choose Chang'e 4 or Chang'e 2 CCD data and then some Chang'e 4 data. That is because Chang'e 2 is an orbiter, so I want to choose some orbiter data. Chang'e 4 is a lander, is a landing mission, so I want to share some landing data. So here is my code. First of all, we want to take a look at the Chang'e 2 CCD level 2C data, and because the Chang'e data are arranged in PDS3 or PDS4 data, so I want to take a look using GDAL, and the GDAL tell us this this data here cannot be opened in GDAL. But we have another tools because they are arranged in PDS3. I mentioned earlier, Chang'e 2 data arranged in PDS3 format, so we can try another tool, which is NASA View, can open some PDS level, can PDS3 data. we can have a try. Look, the data are open right now. So you can use NASA view to open some channel data. But here, the GEO data means the observation geometries. This I have problems to open this in the NASA view. I don't know why. I think that is because the GEO, the geometry parameters, are a multi-band file. That means it's band. It has different bands, and different bands have different meanings. Such as one band means incidence angle, one band means like phase angle, something like this. We can take a look. This is the Chang'e 2, the GEO data. That is the corresponding data of the SCI data, and this data is actually the geometry parameters of the SCI data. If I type angle here, you can see maybe this data have different bands, and each bands have different meanings, like sun incidence angle, instrument incidence angle, etc. So this is an example of this data, which is here. And because this data are PDS3 data, so I also want to use if I can't open this using GDAO, how can I open them? So I'm thinking because maybe the PDS3 data is not in the right way. So however, the data are always there. And for a PDS format, always the former, the first half is a label and the last half is the data. So I want to process them using Python. And if you look at this code in your own computer, I skip lots of bytes. That is skip the label and directly to the data. And the data, if I skip the label, and I will get the data, and I can show this data using matplotlib here, which is shown here. And this data, as I mentioned earlier, can be displayed by NASA view, which is here. They are exactly the same thing. But I don't quite understand why GDAO cannot open this data, because don't quite understand. This is PDS3 data, can open in NASA view, but cannot open in GDAO. However, the data is easy, so we can open it using very simple Python Python commands. The second data I want to show is the Chang'e 2 CCD level 3 data. This is scientific ready GeoTIFF data. So open this data is very easy. You can use ArcGIS to open this data, or you can use GDAO to open this GeoTIFF data, which I show here. So if you got some level 3 data, it's very easy to use if you are a user, if you are a geoscientist. And then let's go to Chang'e 4 data. The Chang'e 4 data and the former Chinese lunar exploration data, the difference is Chang'e 4 data is arranged in PDS4 format. And I try GDAO, and I find GDAO can open the landing camera data. And how about PDS4 viewer? Because this is a PDS4 format data. So I also try PDS4 viewer. All files, PDS4 viewer. And I click image. Critical warning, sorry. landing camera. Maybe some problems here, but I tried it earlier. I find the PDF4 viewer can actually open this data. So then, because this is GDAL data, so we can use GDAL to open the data, open the Chang'e 4 landing camera data, which the code I shown is here. And using GDAL open command, read error, and you will get the data into the error, and you can display it using imshow command. And the image is here. Landing camera, LCM. Okay, let's go to another data set. The panoramic camera, which the acronym is PCAM. Okay, so our strategy is very clear. First, using GDAL to take a look. So GDAL can open the landing camera, the panoramic camera data. The information obtained by GDAL is shown here. Because GDAL can open this data, so we can use GDAL to read this data. The command is here. So read the data into the data set and can display the data finally here. The command here is very easy. So take a look. Okay. The data I just showed, the landing camera and the panoramic camera, all of them just has one band. It's a grayscale image. How about a colorized true color image, which is terrain camera? Here I give an example in the data finder I shared is the terrain camera. The terrain camera is a true color with 3 bands image. And first of all, I try to open it using GDAL and find it works very well. So works very well. How about PDS? Ooh. How about PDS4 to open this data? Terrain camera data? Image. It is actually here. How can I put this in my right screen? Yeah, oh, not this one. So the case here is NASA view can open some Planetary 3 data and PDS3 data, and PDS4 viewer can open some PDS4 data that is Chang'e 4 and missions in the future. Because GDAL can open the terrain camera data, so we can use GDAL to read the data. But this is a multi-band image, so you need get band 1, band 2, band 3 data here. And if you open the data, you will find that this is not a grayscale, especially here, this golden color. This is a true color image. So this is terrain camera data. And is there any other ways to open PDS4 data? The answer is yes. You can use PDS4 tools, which is another Python package to open the PDS4 data. And I showed here PDS4, import PDS4, and use the PDS4 tools read command to read the Chang'e data. And the data, I actually think the PDS4 tools are more convenient than GDAL, because when you're using the PDS4 tools read command, it will directly become a cube, and you can display this cube. You don't need to stack them. Using PDS4 tools to, yeah. So this is the image of colors. Another thing is other image is a spectroscopic files. I don't very understand the spectroscopic files, but I still want to share here because maybe some of you have some ideas. First of all, oh, it is here. So in the presenting mode, I can't see my windows. Let's take let's take a look at the data we mentioned earlier using PDS4 viewer, like the landing camera. Yeah. So the landing camera data can be opened with PDS4 viewer and other data, like the panoramic image. Look, it is here. So I just have some problems to share it with you, but it is okay to use PDS4. But for the spectroscopic data, I find some serious problems to use them because actually they can open use some the spectroscopic data I share with you is one observations of one point, and they have different meanings of each file. Some is like the SD means which mode? Means some observation mode, D means detection, C means calibration, V means, I think it is some mode, and D means detection, C means calibration. AUX means some supporting materials corresponding to that data. I find PDS4 viewer can open the VC and VD data. Let's take a look. Yes, there is image. And if you look at this image, I think this is some observation parameters like phase angle, etc. And you can open the table. I click the table and give me to this, and there is lots of values here. So in my understanding, they are reflectance and errors, something like this. But when I want to click the plot, it tell me, wow, there is error. Don't know why. Let's take a look at others, such as fire. Oh, this one. PDS4 viewer. And D means detection. So I want to open this data. And the image here looks quite good. This is the image of the spectroscopic. Every point, every pixels here has the spectroscopic and has a spectra, and the center point has a spectra from 1,000 nanometers to 3,000 nanometers, around that. And you can see the table, the label. But when I click the plot, go to error, I don't know why. So because this thing can be opened in PDS4 viewer, so I have some idea like open them using PDS4 tools, but the PDS4 tools give me some error information, and this error information actually is the same. as those given me by the PDS4 viewer. Okay, so you know, I think the largest challenge in give this kind of presentation or run the planetary data system is there are too many kinds of data. For me, I don't understand all of them, and this is quite great challenge. And today I share you like 3 or 4 types of data, and I hope you will know much better how Chinese data looks like. And finally, if you have some questions, you can contact the data release system directly, or maybe they will let you know more details of the data.